If you are a woman over 35 and you have tried every diet, every workout, and nothing has worked long term, no matter what you do, your body does not release the belly fat. Your energy is depleted, and you are starting to wonder if this is just your life now. Well, this video is for you. I spent over 20 years doing everything right and still felt completely out of control in my body. I had insulin resistance, hypothyroidism. I was told that was my life now. Today I'm 48 and I feel and I look better than I did in my 20s. And in this video, for the first time, I'm going to share my full story, the 5 phases of my journey, the mistakes I made, and the exact shift that finally made my body release all the extra weight for good. I am Selene, certified holistic nutritionist and the creator of the Confident 40s method. And as I mentioned, I am 48 right now. And I feel and I look better than in my 20s, but not because I found a perfect diet, not because I push it harder, but because I finally understood what was happening inside my body and I stopped fighting it. What I'm going to share with you today is not a theory. It is my life and everything I now teach every single woman I work with. I grew up in a house where food was controlled. My granny was always on a diet. My mom was always on a diet. And if I asked for a treat, I would get an apple. And when I got a real treat, meaning a candy or something like that, it always came with a warning. Be careful. So by the time I was 16, freedom with food felt like a rebellion. I would eat whatever I wanted and then I would throw up. Yes, I was bulimic until one day I passed out and I stopped. But stopping that behavior didn't fix the root. I just went back to what I knew: controlling, restricting, believing that if I could manage what I ate, I could manage how I felt. And this is the first thing that I really, really need you to hear. When your relationship with food is built on control, love, you do not create peace, you create chaos, because control is not the same as freedom and your body knows the difference. Chronic restriction is one of the most powerful drivers of high cortisol, because your body reads that restriction as danger, and danger keeps your cortisol levels elevated. And elevated cortisol makes releasing weight practically impossible, no matter how disciplined you are. Later on at 19, something super exciting happened. A modeling agency recruited me, and I thought, this is it, this is my moment. I was so excited. Instead, it became one of the most humiliating periods of my life. Every single day, I have to step on the scale, and I was told in front of all the other girls that I needed to lose more weight, even though I was so thin that you could count my ribs. But for them, that wasn't good enough. And around that time was when my mom was diagnosed with cancer. So here I was at only 19, carrying the pressure of university, modeling, and the most terrifying thing I ever faced, and completely alone with all of it. What I did, double down in the only thing I thought I had control of: my body. And that taught me something that I carry with me every single day now. You can look a certain way in the outside and feel completely broken on the inside. What the world sees and what you are living are not always the same thing. And no amount of controlling your body on the outside fixes what is happening inside. Then my mom passed away and my world shattered. I was not eating, I was not sleeping, I was not moving. I was literally just breathing and crying. And somehow my body started gaining weight rapidly. I went to doctor after doctor and every single one told me the same: You're eating too much, you need to eat less, and you need to work out more. Nobody looked deeper. Nobody considered a body in grief. And later on, one of the things I learned is that a system in shock does not respond to standard advice. Then came the hypothyroidism diagnosis, another pill, and I do remember very clearly asking that doctor, okay, how do we fix this? And his answer was, we don't fix it, we manage it. Just take the pill, accept the extra weight, and that was my breaking point. Because at that moment, I understood something. And I teach that to every woman I work with. Your body isn't broken. But if you only treat ever the symptoms, your body will feel like it's broken forever. If what I'm sharing is landing for you and you want to understand what's happening in your body, that is exactly what we look together in my free weight loss audit. And there I show you exactly what your body needs. And this is exactly how I helped Cindy. She had been trying to lose 20 pounds for 10 years. And in only 2 weeks, she released 12. But what she kept telling me, it wasn't about the number. It was that for the first time, it felt easy. She regained her energy. She didn't have cravings anymore, and all the bloating went away. So going back to my story, that day of my breaking point, I decided to go all in. But the problem was I went all in on the wrong things first. So I tried every diet. I counted calories, I cut calories, I stopped eating carbs, I stopped eating fats. The extreme calorie deficit, the workout 2 hours daily without rest. And yeah, a few times I released a couple of pounds, but shortly I gained them back, and sometimes even more. And that is when I finally understood. This is not a discipline problem because I had the discipline. At that point, I was showing up daily with the diets, with the workouts. So I had to go deeper. I started learning about nervous system regulation, about the relationship between cortisol and hormones, about what food actually does beyond calories, and how a body that doesn't feel safe with chronically elevated cortisol will not release extra weight. I regulated my nervous system. I started nourishing my body instead of restricting it. I started moving in a way that was supporting my entire system, not as punishment. I protected my sleep. I addressed what was keeping my cortisol levels high. And something happened that I genuinely didn't expect. My body released all the extra weight, not through force, not through restriction, not through punishment, not through more discipline. It happened when my cortisol levels came down consistently enough to tell my body, you are safe. You can release the extra weight. I was in my early 30s when everything changed. I am 48 now. And the other day, I woke up super excited thinking, in 2 years, I'm going to be 50 and I'm going to feel and look better than today. That is what is possible when you fix the root cause instead of fighting the symptoms. If you have watched the entire series, you now understand your cortisol from every angle. Your morning, your sleep, menopause, cravings, exercise, your thyroid, insulin resistance, and now the full story underneath all of it. Everything connects, everything comes back to the same root. A nervous system that has been in survival mode. A body that was trapped with chronic elevated cortisol and didn't feel safe enough to let go. And the most powerful thing you can do is not add more restriction. It is to finally give your body what it has been asking for. And that is safety, nourishment, lower cortisol, and a lot of support. So I think by now you know this is not just about releasing belly fat. It is about freedom to walk into your closet and wear whatever you want. If this series have changed something in you, please share it with a friend. I know through this video or one of the other videos you thought about someone, so share it with her and let's help more women like you and I. And if you are ready to understand what is actually keeping you stuck with the extra weight, just book a weight loss audit with me. The link is in the description. We sit, we talk, a relaxed conversation. We figure out what's going on and we figure out how to fix it.